Today has been great information for a small community, but it also my role was to kind of reinforce and talk about 911 and how that services is available to the community.
I was amazed that you're making a pitch. You're trying to tell these small cities to get the word out that text is available. And yet I think it's been available for a long time, but you're still having to promote it.
Absolutely. Next year is going to be our 10th year that's coming up. That's 1 decade. And yet we're still scratching the surface about people knowing about texting to 911. That's an initiative that's been back in 2016. It's available to everybody in Hidalgo, Willacy, and where that's something we want to make sure that the community is aware that if you're unable to speak, you can definitely text 911.
And maybe texting is quicker than phoning in.
Absolutely. In certain circumstances, they could be. If you're unable to speak and put yourself in a hard way, that's something you can be able to know that that's available to you. Another initiative we spoke about is text translation. That's also available in our region. So that's something to know if you happen to speak Spanish and kind of worried about the call taker understanding. Don't worry about that. Our system is able to translate about 32 different languages, and they're able to communicate back and forth with you and the call takers as well.
Why do you think it is that still so many people in the community do not know that they can text a 991 emergency message?
I just think it's just about the folks out there knowing that 911 is always the dial in a way. Text has been around for the forefront for a while. So not knowing that that's an option is something that we want to try to enforce. Conversations like this we're having right now kind of helps kind of spread the masses, let them know that 911 and texting to 911 is going to be something that's available to you anytime you need it.
And how long has the option been there for folks, obviously predominantly in the valley, that would like to text in Spanish? How is that a new program?
That is a new program. We actually implemented back in May. So that's a fairly new, and that's something that we're able to do already. So texting was around since 2016. Translation just happened 2 months ago. So that's something that we want to make sure the community is aware about, both of those options that are available to you all.
So if they text in Spanish, instantly the emergency services, they'll get that message and maybe translated back into English, and they'll be able to move fast. There's no lag, there's no time delay by someone texting in one language
That's correct, absolutely. A lot of times when people start calling, let's say, and you're in your foreign language, we have to try to communicate which language are you speaking to effectively have the services sent to them. Once you text, it automatically lets us know what language it is. It could be Portuguese, it could be Mandarin, and we'll be able to text immediately and communicate effectively with you without having any issues. But the best thing is your location is going to be there. We're still going to be able to find you. We're able to have services go to your way.
And there was a medical component to your presentation today, you and your colleague, that there's the 911 can be of help with your phone in terms of getting important information to the medical community, the healthcare community.
Exactly. Just search your settings on your phone on Apple or an Android. You can search for medical, and you'll have your medical ID information. So if you don't already have somebody, you can include your mother, your husband, your wife, whomever they are, and also make sure you're able to put in your pre-existing conditions, any medications you are. So if there's ever an opportunity where you can't speak for yourself, that information is available on your phone, and first responders can access it without having your phone unlocked and able to provide effective services to you.
So even if the phone's locked, that information can still be accessed by emergency services in an emergency.
That's correct. It's what information you want to provide us. So whatever you're comfortable with doing so, that information is going to help expedite that. We had a story here about one of the directors having been called a John Doe for a month. That's something that we don't want that. We want to make sure if we have an access to your phone, we're going to be able to contact your most recent emergency contact. That's just going to help us expedite that and to know who you are and let your families know where you're at.
Next question. I think you answered this in your presentation, but this issue of having good addresses that emergency services know about, we covered an event, the Delta Area Summit, and there was a discussion on that day that in the Delta, particularly Ed Couch and Elsa, lots of addresses are going to be changed, like the hundreds, in fact. And the city's working with an outside consultant to to come up with new addresses. But in your presentation today, you said that really is the city's issue.
That's correct.
Can you help at all, or are you really just the rural areas?
Actually, I'm aware of that program. The cities do reach out to us. They want to make sure whatever they're putting out is aligning with 911 emergency services. So we're definitely encompassing that. We're in the background supporting the cities out there. So anytime, even though we're out there for the rural community, we also are effective helping out the cities to know, hey, this is going to coordinate with also the rural area. So this is the perfect address to have. But we won't have duplications of cities or names or anything out there of addresses. We want to make sure we properly address homes.
Have you got any idea across this county or across the valley even, just how many homes need to have their address changed to make life easier for emergency services in the case? And we know, we've heard in the Delta area it's hundreds, but could there be other communities out there similar to the Delta that need those changes made?
I can't say specifically. I know there's areas out there, but what we do ask is those city planners or annexes that want to be aware of, call us. We'll be able to work with you and see what we can do for your community. Absolutely.
Those were all the questions I had, Dennis. Is there anything I've missed? Anything else you want to add?
No, our website's rgv911.org. So anytime you have any questions or you want to submit a ticket for your address or see if your address is even on our map, we have all that functions there. But do give us a call at 956-682-3481. That's our phone number. We'll answer any questions, help you navigate our website. So we're there for you.